On March 11th, 2016, I had gotten up, gotten dressed, and headed to school that day. As I arrived to school, I noticed about a dozen cop cars parked in front of the school's entrance. This wasn't uncommon because the local law enforcement often conducted random drug searches in schools. As I walked into the school, I noticed a deputy stationed at every corner of the school. I was then told to go to my homeroom class and wait for further instruction. We were under lockdown and no one knew why. Later that day, I discovered that a boy from the sophomore class and a couple of his friends had planned to shoot up the school that day. One of his friends backed out the last second and told his parents about it, and law enforcement was notified and the kids were arrested as they arrived at school that morning. But what if the situation was different? What if the kid hadn't notified his parents? Or what if the parents never did call the law and the deed was carried out? Who would have protected us? I'm Brooklyn Gunner, and today I want to explain why I believe teachers should be allowed to conceal carry firearms in schools. I come from a small town, and a lot of the teachers I've had throughout my years in school have been very responsible, very upstanding people. These people are the same people that go to church with my grandparents, or they're seen at local town commission meetings. These people strive to better the lives of their students and to improve the community around them. These are the kind of people that I would want to protect me in a school shooting situation. I believe that by arming teachers, it would give their classes a fighting chance against a school shooter. Through the proper training, the teachers could be able to protect their students during a stressful situation. The 2018 Parkland school shooting, shooter Nicholas Cruz came in through the stairwell at 2:21 a.m. or 2:21 p.m., as seen in the photo above. 11 minutes later, he managed to shoot and kill 17 people, and by 2:23 he escaped through the evacuating students and almost got away, as told by the timeline posted on Business Insider website. If the teachers had been armed that day, the shooter probably could have been apprehended before 11 minutes and could probably save precious lives. I think that schools should take a more offensive action when it comes to these types of situations. I know that the current protocol for a lockdown is to huddle in the corner and to push desks in front of you and to try to hide. But in a situation like that with 30 kids in a classroom, the shooter could easily come in and shoot at a mass of sitting ducks. I believe that if teachers take the necessary classes and get the proper training, they could prevent situations like these. On National Train a Teacher Day, over 200 firearm instructors held open classes and offered free courses to teachers for handgun safety. This event was sponsored by the U.S. Concealed Carry Association and others, as told by an article by Madeline Will. The NRA also provides classes like these, and you can look these classes up through their website. Some of these classes include personal training and personal safety training, training to protect yourself in a situation inside and outside of the home, as well as classes geared toward women who are trying to protect themselves. I think by offering courses like these and arming teachers would boost the security in schools. Let's see. The National Center of Education Statistics reports that in the 2015-2016 school year, only 42% of the schools had access to at least one armed student resource officer in their school. Since the Parkland shooting, this has increased to 90%, which shows that cities are taking a part in boosting the security in their schools. But I think if it was taken a step further and the teachers can be proactive in a situation if it were to arise, that it could better ensure the safety of the students that go to that school each day. Some believe that you do not have to have an armed teacher to be protected by a school shooter. My own agriculture teacher, who is now the Cannon County High School principal, told me a story about how he stopped a school shooter. In 1995, Mr. Nichols was teaching at Richland High School. He said one morning he was standing by his classroom door and he heard a loud bang in the hallway. Now, Mr. Nichols grew up in the same rural town that I did and could easily pick out the sound of a .22 rifle being shot. He said he then saw a student running down the hallway and that was holding the rifle in his hand. Mr. Nichols and another student tackled the shooter to the ground, and Mr. Nichols ripped this gun away from him. Running into his classroom, locking the door, he unloaded the weapon and waited for police arrival. The shooter managed to kill one teacher, one student, and injured another teacher in the short time that he was in the school building. In an article published by the Columbia Daily Herald, the student was arrested and was placed on a life sentence for the actions that he committed. While he was apprehended in a quick manner, I believe that the safety of the students would be better ensured that if the teachers had been armed that day. Since 1995, when that happened, school protocols for lockdowns and safety measures have been increased, and there has been more and more lockdown practices to help get rid of or help be prepared in situations like these. As a student, I do believe it does sadden me to think that these are the measures that we have to take to ensure the safety of people that want to further their education. Living in America, we do have rights that allow us to live and do what we want and study what we want. I think we should use these rights to help protect us in dangerous situations that can harm not only my life, but the life of my teachers and the life of my classmates. The Second Amendment states, a well-regulated militia, being the necessity of a free state, the right of people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. I think we the people should use this right to protect ourselves, and instead of living in fear of what may happen in the future, we should have a plan set aside and be prepared for what is to come. Thank you.